Alright, it's kind of like just a maintenance tip if you have a pellet stove. At the beginning of or at the end of every season, make sure you disconnect the pipes from your pellet stove, because what happens is once you're through with the heating season that you need it for, there could be like a lot of ash, pellet ash inside of the pipes, and what it'll do is it'll clog up the stove and it'll make it, less efficient, and it could also create like a fire hazard or like a carbon hazard. So I began pulling the tape off of some of this pipe, and I did get all the ash out of here, but I've also got, this pipe runs through my garage, so I'm going to take apart the pipe in the garage and I'll show you, how bad it can be when it's clogged up after a season. So I'm going to go out there now and start peeling the tape off, and we'll take a look to see what's inside that pipe. So I have this pipe that runs inside the wall of our garage and back out to an exterior wall. It was the only way to safely plumb this pellet stove, so that we had some room to let all the exhaust gas escape without going near a window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the foil off of that and off of the other end down here, and we'll see how much is trapped in there. Let's take the foil off. That's all you really need to do. Let's peel it away, and it comes off pretty easily. And then if you have a cordless screwdriver and you have screws that put it in, it'll definitely make it easier to take these out. This cordless screwdriver that I have is awesome. I love this thing. And it'll zap the screws right out for you. That's all you have to do is take the pipe out. Alright, so this is the pipe coming out of our stove through the garage, and man, look at all the buildup in there. We really got to get all this out of here, and if you use like crappy pellets and cheap pellets, this is what happens. So I'm going to get all the stuff out of the inside, and let me show you the other side too. And that's the other end that goes out of the outside of the house, the exhaust part. I took the pipe out from the middle of these two pipes. So there's the one coming out of our stove. It traveled through, poked out the exterior wall, and let's get some of the crap out of the intermediate pipe, and we'll see what that looks like. So here's my intermediate pipe laying on the ground. I just picked up a couple of new bags of pellets, and I haven't tried these before, but let's get this pipe all cleaned up before I can get my stove working. And what I'll do is I'll tap it on the ground right here, and we'll see just how much soot comes out of there from the pellets. And again, this is only after one season. Wow, look at that. It just comes out. I'm not even scraping it yet. And you gotta scrape the walls inside of these pipes every single season. Make sure everything is free flowing with air, because if not, that can really clog up the pipe, put carbon monoxide in your home, and that's not a good thing. Alright, a couple of tools you can use to clean out the pellet stove pipe is I have this like long brush that's made for cleaning out boilers. Or they also sell like a little brush like this, and you can buy poles that screw onto this. You can go up and down inside the pipe and twist it around, and it's made to really clean the inside of the pipe, and it turns around like this and you can bring it in and out. It works good. I've misplaced my poles, so I'm going to use the other long brush, and if you have one of these you can use it too. That's all you really do is kind of go into the pipe and clean all the walls and tip the pipe up. I'm not doing that because I have the camera, so just go all the way down. You can see all the stuff coming out. So I'm going to get this done and move on to something else. Alright, so I'm going to tip this pipe up while I'm scraping it with that brush. And you'll be able to see like all the stuff come out of it. And you can see it like all start to come down. So you're going to want to get that all out of the inside of the walls of your pipe. Alright, so I've cleaned all my pipe out. I've got everything back together. I put all the little screws in that were holding the pipe in place back in their spots. So remember to go around all the joints with some this foil that's rated for a pellet stove pipe, and make sure that all the joints are sealed up with the tape, and that no exhaust gas or anything can come out. And this stuff is pretty easy to work with. You can go around the pipe like this and kind of measure how much you need, and then you just kind of tear it by hand like that. And it has a backing, it has like an adhesive backing, so you can kind of like just start on one end. Make sure you cover the screws. You go up and around this, and it kind of conforms to the pipe pretty easily, so it's pretty easy stuff to work with. Don't want to do all the backing all at once, because then it'll stick to your hand, it'll stick to your shirt, it'll stick to itself, and then you'll be pulling the hair out of your head. But alright, so now that's all done. That's one joint done. So now I'm going to work my way around the pipe and do all the other joints. Alright, so I finished taping all of my joints on my pellet stove pipe. The inside's all done. So basically, maintenance wise, if you just do this a couple times a year, you should be good to go. Once you clear all the pipes out. I burned 2.5 tons of pellets last year, and that was what came out of my stove after 2.5 tons. But if you burn more than that, I don't leave my stove on at night either. I shut it off at night, so we only usually use it during the day. But if you burn more than that, you go through like 4, 5, 6 tons. You may want to do this a couple times, spring, fall, or maybe in the middle of the season if you have time. Let's check your pipes out and make sure that they're clear and that the exhaust is working properly. If anybody has any tips that they'd like to add, definitely leave some comments. If you see anything that we could have did a little bit different, leave some comments. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm pretty thick-skinned. So we like to see that stuff too. But thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up.